This is a video guide about lines of business in iScout, specifically how lines of business are created and managed, and also how they're used throughout the site. So if I go into the control panel, and since I'm logged in as an admin, I can see that there's a line of business button here. If you don't use the phrase line of business to describe the different work your company performs, you can use the wordsmith down in the bottom of the control panel, and you can change it to anything you like, such as service or division. So if I go back up and I click on the lines of business button, I'll see all the lines of business I have set up in my site. When you start a new iScout site, there won't be any lines of business listed here, and you will need to add them. To add a new line of business, you simply go up to the upper right and click Add One. You just enter the line of business name here, and then you would create a code for that line of business. This code could be the name of the line of business, it could be a number or an acronym or abbreviation, but this will be useful whenever you're loading a lot of data to the site. You can use this code to refer to this line of business. Then you can select if this line of business is active or inactive, and then click Save Changes, and the new line of business will be listed here. If I click Edit, it just takes me back to this page where I can change the name, code, or adjust the status between active and inactive. I can save that and go back to the list. If you have a large number of business lines to add, possibly for a new iScout site, you can add them one at a time here, or a potentially quicker way would be loading them from a spreadsheet. To do that, you would go to the control panel and then to data loads. And I'll give a brief description of that here, but if you want more details on data loads, check out the data loads video guide. But if I click on data load and then this learn link, I can go down to the line of business help section, and it will show me what fields I need to have on my spreadsheet to load lines of business. The spreadsheet needs to include these column headers on the first row. Your site will be listed here. The record type is line of business, and then you would list the line of business names in the column and the codes that you're going to use for each. You can download an example of this spreadsheet here to edit and upload. So that's a quick overview of adding and editing lines of business. So now let's look at how they work in the system. If I go into the employee profile, there's a line of business section right here. And since I'm logged in as an admin, I can change that by clicking Edit and then selecting anything from the list. Employees can be assigned to one or multiple if necessary. So if I save those changes, and now I'm going to go into the Employees tab. You can search for employees assigned to a certain line of business. So if you want to see all of the employees in your company assigned to concrete, you simply select that option and it will populate the results here. Another place lines of business are used in iScout is in the Forms section. So if I go into the Forms page, I have these forms in the system, but I can also create any form I need by clicking New Form and building one from scratch. In any form, I can include line of business as a field, so it is available as an analytic when I want to view the responses later. So if I'm filling out an observation report, I can assign the line of business that was being conducted when the observation occurred. Then after I've submitted the form, I can view the responses of the observation report and analyze the data using a variety of filters, one of which is line of business. So I can view all of the observation reports for a particular line of business over the last 3 months and see results based on those filters. Then you could also download a PDF of those if you needed to share this report with anyone else. You can also view the data for all lines of business. So I'm going to go back in here and change the filter to all. And now I can see a breakdown of observations by line of business through these graphs, and I can even drill down and just view the responses for a specific line of business. Another way it's used in the system is for training. So I can go into the Trainings tab and then select Edit Trainings. And you can make a training required for employees based on the line of business they are assigned to in their user profile. For example, there are trainings loaded into this demo site, and I see that assembly training needs to be done every 6 months. So if I go in to edit that training, I can currently see that it is assigned to everyone. If I change from everyone to limited, I can create conditions that must be met for the training to be assigned. And one of those conditions is line of business. So I can select line of business and then choose the one or multiple lines of business that require this training. Once selected, I click continue and then save changes at the bottom, and it will automatically make those requirements for employees with those lines of business. So that's an overview of how to manage lines of business in iScout. If you have any questions on the data load or how to build forms or run analysis reports, check out the video guides for those topics in the help section of iScout.